Hi all, I'm Dr. Sijia, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Application at Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. Here in this video, I'm going to discuss about the rules of simplifications using Karnaugh Map. In the previous series video, I have just discussed about the map simplifications, what are the techniques that has been used and how a Karnaugh map can be used for simplification. So in this video, we are going to follow the steps for simplifying an equation. So getting into the examples of how a Karnaugh map has to be used. So on the first, if we see, the group may not include any cells that contains a zero. So in this diagram, it is clearly known, it is shown that only 1 and 1 is being grouped where zeros and 1 should not be grouped. So this is one of the conditions that has been followed in the Karnaugh map. Next is group may be horizontal or vertical, but it should not be diagonal. So in this diagram, which is given in the left corner, where in the 1 and 1 which has been present in each cell, which has not to be grouped in the diagonal format, but it has to be formatted as right, horizontal or vertical. So overlapping is allowed in this K-map. So the main purpose of K-map is to simplify the uh, simplify the concept. So that is what it is used. So this is the second rule where diagonal grouping is not allowed, whereas horizontal or vertical grouping is allowed. Next, group must contains 1 to 4 and 8 or in general 2 to the power n cells. So if n is equal to 1, a group will contain two ones since 2 to the power 1 is equal to 2. If n is equal to a group will contain four ones since 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4. So this is how the map of Karnaugh map rule has to be performed. So in this first one, a group of two is given where 1 and 1 which is being grouped vertically, and in case of three maps, that means three variables A, B, C, three grouping is not to be permitted. Only 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping has to be performed. No grouping of 3 is permitted. In the bottom image, if we see 4 has been grouped, which is said to be right, and on the right side of the variables, that is A, B, C, it is grouped as 1, 1, 1 and 0, 0, 0, 1. So which totally contains five numbers, which is not to be grouped. So in this condition, what the rule is telling is we have to concentrate on groups of 1, either 2, either 4 or 8. Groups of 3, 5, that is the number of odds of grouping should not be formed. For example, 3, 5, 7. So such types of groups should not be allowed in a Karnaugh map. So this is one of the important rule in K-map. Next, each group should be large as possible. So what it is said is, when grouping by using a Karnaugh map, we have to first focus on 8, else on 6. If there is no possibilities of 6, we have to focus on 4. So that is grouping of 4 cells. If 4 cells is not possible, we have to concentrate on 2. And if 2 is not possible, we have to check for the corners of ones. And this corners of ones can be grouped as 4 in case of 4 variables and 2 in case of 2 variables. So in this leftmost diagram, on the top leftmost diagram, the grouping is correct. First, they have focused on 4. Finally, 4 is done. And then again, they are checking for any 4 groupings. There is availability of 4. So there are 2 groups with 4 segments. So that is right. When concentrating on the right topmost diagram, 2, 2, and again 2 is being grouped. So this is not right. Maximum, we have to check for the maximum number of groups. So this is not the right one. The left topmost diagram is said to be right. And each cell contained one must be at least one group. So what they are telling is, group 1 and group 2, there should be at least one should be present in a group. So this is right, where on the top, two ones are being grouped together, On the bottom, we have only one. So that one can also be grouped. So this is in order to simplify the things. Here, group 1 and group 2 can also be overlapped and we can group it. But this is one of the conditions. What I am coming to say is each cell should contain one, at least one in one group. So this is another condition. Groups may overlap. So in some conditions, we have to check for 4. So when we group 4, the upper segments also needs one to be grouped. So in such a case, overlapping issue will be coming. So but in Karnaugh map, overlapping concept is allowed. So in the down diagram, if we see separate 2, and again separate 2 has been grouped without overlapping, and this is not the right one according to the Karnaugh map rules. So this is one of the condition. And here we see group may wrap around the table. So here 4 corners of ones can be grouped. For example, if we fold up a paper into 2, the 4 corners of the paper will be combined together. Likewise, when we fold this, or when we fold these 2 corners, we can group these 2 ones as 4. So this can be done in a K-map. So this is one of the rule. And in the downmost, the left corner, 4 is overlapped, and this corners 2, 2, 2 is being grouped. So this is not the right one. So maximum we have to look for a 4 grouping. So no zeros is being allowed, and there should be no diagonal grouping, and only power of 2 numbers of cell in each group has to be grouped. We have to check for the maximum of 6, maximum of 4, maximum of 4. Grouping should be large as possible as discussed, and everyone must be at least one group, and overlapping is allowed. Wrapping around 4 corners is also allowed, and the fewer number of groupings can also be possible if there is no possibilities of 4, 6 or 8. So thank you.